Hello, everybody, and welcome to TRUtalk. This is episode 6, the end of an era.
You've heard it. It is coming. The end of Twitch IRL and creative, sort of.
Also, I think Bethesda might be a little bit of a bully.
No, but we'll talk about that. And, there's a guy in here that finally gets to talk about Subnautica. And it's not me.
All right, let's jump into it.
Well, you've heard us talk about it before on TRUtalk. I mean, some of us just did not like how creative was structured. And that's something that's really more of GamerDad's kind of thing. Like, this is his deal. But I definitely will throw my hat in the ring and say that there's some upcoming changes that are really exciting. Do you want to kind of give a little tiny morsel on that one, my friend?
Oh yeah, I think it. I think the organization around IRL and creative was very poorly set up, and this is probably one of the smartest things that Twitch could do with those two communities.
Yes, and we're going to get into that. But they're basically making those two categories go boom. But it's good. No one panic. Twitch is releasing tags and categories. It's a better structure. It's going to be really good stuff. Bethesda looks to be sticking out their chest at Sony, as in, bruh, trying to help them influence and enable cross-play with game systems for Elder Scrolls Legends. And they have a good reason for why Fallout 76 won't release on Steam for now. And this is a trend that we're seeing with a lot of publishers and developers, and we're going to talk a bit about it. But before we get into all of that, we want to introduce you to one of our new TRUgaming affiliate streamers, SilentGhost73. Ghost, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing pretty good, sir. Doing pretty good. I have a question. Have you ever met SilentGhost72? And if so, are they doing all right?
That I have not done. I have not met him at all.
And you are a bit quiet, sir. If you could move your mic closer.
Well, I have to move closer to the mic, but that's okay.
There you go. Physics. Love it. Love it.
Is Mike comfortable with you getting that close to him?
He loves it.
See, we won't get through this thing if we don't get a bad dad joke out there. It's not a complete cast. You got to be honest, Jim.
No, I don't. I don't have to respond to anything. This is harassment, and I'm not going to take it.
All right, Ghost, to start things off, can you give us a bit of a brief overview of who you are as a streamer? Tell us about your channel and how you got started on Twitch.
Well, started off in December, a couple months after I got laid off from my job. You know, I had been on Twitch for a while as a viewer, but I decided to go that one step further and actually start to stream. So, you know, I love playing games. I love interacting with people. And as long as they're not trolly, like some people I know, but it all works.
You talking about me?
Or me?
No.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's fair. It's fair.
I don't feel like getting killed on my first podcast.
He's scared of us. We did our job.
Nah, we're not scary. I'm just aggressive. There's a difference.
Fair enough.
So, jokes about numbers aside, and for those of you that are new listeners to the podcast, anytime someone has a number in their username, I'm going to make a joke about it because I find it funny. It's nothing personal. It's just a thing. So if I'm in, like, sort of say a PvP match and I get killed by, or I kill someone with a number at the end, I go, hey, let me know how, username 421's doing, because you became before him, and whatever.
Now I see.
But those jokes aside, what is the story behind your username? Like, how did that SilentGhost73, like, what made you decide this is who I am?
Well, it actually comes from 2 points of view. I used to play Battlefield series a lot, and I usually always played as a sniper. Even as I was connected to most of my comrades through chat, I rarely ever talked. I just took out targets. Another thing about that, though, is also I used to GM or admin on a lot of BF2 servers. where I love to just go out and ghost people, and if I had to, ban them without even saying a word to them.
You're one of those guys.
Hey, if they're cheating, they're gone.
Fair enough, dude.
I've known Ghost for what, probably 6+ months, and he is kind of like that calm, quiet type. But when he gets his chance to do something fun like ban a cheater, it fits his personality. I'm not. I mean, I'm not trying to troll him. He definitely enjoys keeping order on some things. That's for sure.
Oh, I do enjoy it, even when it comes to chats. I mean, if somebody wants to come in with a trolly name or just start up crap, I love just getting rid of them because you know what? You want to be like that in our chat?
Mhm.
No. See ya. Bye bye.
So basically, what you're saying is that Ghost here is like a runway model's broccoli fart, silent but
Right.
deadly. Got it.
So we know what your motivation was while you were playing in these games. Now, what's your motivation behind your stream? What keeps you going on each new cast? What do you love about Twitch?
The one thing I love about Twitch is that at any given moment, you're talking millions of viewers. And for me, what keeps me going is not to get those couple million viewers, just to get some that I can interact with, and talk and actually enjoy a game playthrough alongside a viewer. Whereas I just play a game and there's nobody there to talk to. It's just like talking to myself. Okay, no problem. That way I can ensure an intelligent conversation. But I do enjoy the interaction above everything else, and that's what keeps me going. Is actually meeting new people.
So for you, it's more of a social thing, kind of a way of making your hobby a more social thing, and hopefully making that for other people. Would that be accurate? You think?
I would say that's very accurate.
Awesome. And I mean, with that in mind, I mean, so being social, being interactive, doing what we do on Twitch is at the heart of everything. And the more you can drill down what you're doing in a way that makes it accessible and more importantly, findable on the platform has always been something that we've struggled with in the outer rim of Twitch. And that's where our first topic comes in, I think. And we touched on it with creative and IRL getting kind of split up into multiple categories or treating it more like a game in as much as it's very specific. And then on top of that, you can drill it further with tags. And that's exciting for me because, with podcasting and other stuff that I'm doing, it's certainly going to be helpful. And the tags are going to be helpful with games as well. But for someone like GamerDad over here, he's probably chomping at the bit and can't wait because that means he's going to get people that really want to watch the type of thing he's
Mhm.
doing and they can find him.
Yeah, yeah. In the Twitch creative community, and I think we talked about this on episode 2 or 3 with Pure Chaos and Rav. Chaos is mostly
Mhm.
in creative, and Rav dabbles in creative, and none of us do the same thing in creative yet. We're all considered just a creative streamer, and it's been really tough because you have 3 communities which aren't really policed, right? A maximum of 3 communities that you can stream to while you're in creative, and it makes it very difficult to find your niche or be visible to that niche viewer who wants to see miniature figures or perlers or video editing. And I am a creative streamer in that I do creative content, but that's not my game. That's like me saying that Jim's an FPS gamer, right? There's no Destiny
Right.
2, there's no Call of Duty, there's no anything. They're all the same. It's just first person shooters. There you go. There's your
I'm deeply
content.
offended by what you just said, though.
Well,
Like, even as an example, passively associating with Call of Duty.
oh, there is no comparison, but that's my point. That's
Right,
like
exactly.
that's like
No,
you see where I'm going though, right?
I am, and the thing is that illustrates the point in this is a dramatization of how a lot of creative streamers have felt for a long time, because and viewers too. If I go to a creative stream and the person's doing crochet, I've dated someone that does crochet. I have no interest. I don't want to watch it. I don't want to hear about it. That person may be wonderful, but that's going to turn me off. I see those needles, I'll think of the other person. I don't want to watch anymore. And I feel that when they're splitting things up into a way that I can say, here's the things that trigger me, so to speak, and I don't want, I can cut those off and I can search for the things that I do like. Like I love watching people do caning. I love watching people do clay. Painting, miniatures is pretty cool depending upon the camera angles they're using. But I can drill it down to figure out, okay, on the most basic level, the kind of people that do these I tend to enjoy it and can chill with. Same goes with IRL as far as like podcasts, talk shows, eating, driving. What I don't think driving's one, but you know what I mean? Like all the different things that they can have. And I feel like it's just like with gaming that you can say, I know I like this game. Let's find someone that does it the way I want to see it done. But then it's like that helps, but that then puts creative in a similar problem that gaming has had for a long time, which is, well, how do I find that person and the tone of the stream I'm looking for? And that's where tags comes in.
Oh yeah.
So whether you're streaming Destiny 2 or painting miniatures or whatever, you've got this option now that says you can put chill stream, you can put they're working on self-identifiers like the LGBTQ community. And if that's out of order, you can fucking eat it. I don't care. It's not that I don't care. It's that I don't ever have the acronym memorized, and I apologize. I don't have it memorized, and I'm embarrassed, so I'm reacting badly. But anyway, they're working on self-identifiers for those communities to make sure that they're accurate and they're appropriate. So they're doing that, and a lot of other things, like everything from like all the things that communities tried to shoehorn themselves into being. Like communities turned into what tags are now. Like the communities were not what Twitch wanted them to be. People weren't using them that way. People were like using the community like a tag. Like I created one that was extreme music lovers, so that people could come to my stream knowing there's going to be grindcore and hard house and techno and death metal and whatever. But now there's going to be a tag, hopefully, that will allow us to do that. And I think that's almost more exciting than splitting creative and IRL.
Well, yeah, I think so. I think splitting IRL and creative, and you and I have talked about this offline, is probably a pretty smart move with the strategy they put. And I promise this will segue back into tags, breaking up creative and IRL the way that they did into things like just talking, talk shows, even giving ASMR its own separate category, or giving me art and hobbies. Now I can ignore
that's
that.
huge.
Yeah,
like that's gonna like. ASMR has been one of the biggest draws for YouTube in the last couple of years. And I feel like now with ASMR getting its own category on Twitch, it'll be what IRL was a year ago.
Yep.
I think people are going to really flock to that.
Sure.
And then they'll be able to tag it with different kinds of triggers. Like some people like the taps. I personally want to punch the screen when I hear that shit. Like I don't want to hear all that crap. I don't want to hear you rustling stuff. Just talk to me in a soft voice and smile a little bit, and I'll be like,
the whisper streams for those, the ones that are not. We're gonna go down a rabbit hole with this comment. The ASMR streams where they whisper and talk to you that are not overly sexualized. I want to emphasize that they're very relaxing. They are.
Yes.
But so what I was saying about breaking up those categories was done strategically, and I feel very accurately. Even though people are arguing, well, what I do is art, but you're telling me I should be in hobby. Well, you can pick which way you want to go. With the tags, I'm not as sold. I like that the tags exist. I like that it's now easier for me to identify my stream, because I have to stream to the category I select. So let's say hobbies, right? I'm going to stream to hobbies now instead of maybe creative, or stream to art instead of creative. And then when I type my stream description, hey, I can do hashtag painting, hashtag miniature figure, just like I would on Twitter when I go to make my post of going live, right? But it's more policed than the communities were before. And communities are going away because of tags. Before, I could just type in, I can create my own community if I wanted to, and stream to it and be the only one there when nobody would ever find me. So tags help you find somebody better, but you're much more limited. And I wish that they had given you some more time to create more tags than they did initially, because it's just about 100 right now, I think, if I remember correctly.
Right.
Which is a lot. Don't get me wrong. But
they also have but they have a submission form.
Yes.
And it is something that I think that when they, I like the idea that it's curated. I really do. but I feel like I agree. I would have liked a larger list to start with, but at the same time, chances are by the end of the year, we're not going to have that problem. I really don't see that.
Right. And so, like using Ghost for example, I don't know if they have a veteran tag. Yeah, this guy right down here somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, like I would love to see the identifiers like you were mentioning earlier. Um, you know, those
I
would
think
be
veteran
very,
would be good.
yeah,
Veteran would be good. I feel like and I know this is going to sound a bit weird, but like disabled would be good too.
read my mind.
Because I got a couple friends that stream that are disabled and they're really, really good at what they do. And it, laugh at me if you want to, but I feel like someone who's like very disabled and is able to game and stream and do all that multitasking, I look at it almost like a competitive sport because it's like, wow, look at what they're doing with less resources than you have, and they're killing it.
Mhm.
And to me, like, and it gets you hyped because they're usually really positive. It's a usually a really good feeling kind of stream. So like, I like going to those folks and giving them support because they're putting themselves out there. Same thing with veterans that may be disabled veterans. Like, see it all stacks up. There's tons of stuff that there's potential to do. You know, obviously charity events, stuff like that.
Mhm.
So based on what the goals of the tag program are and what we have to start with, I think we're going to be okay. But I will tell you that this show will come back in a few months if they don't deliver on the promise of what this is supposed to be. If it stays a somewhat stifling, limiting thing, I'm going to have words for you, Twitch. But you know, it's as simple as that. I think it's a good place to start, and it's a good move forward, especially when we talk about creative and IRL. But time will tell, as with so many new features on this platform and in this industry. So,
And I can confirm that there is an LGBTQ plus tag already created. I'm looking at the
yes,
initial list right now.
right, and they're looking at like everything that goes underneath it. So,
Yep.
like, if you're the Q in that, which is queer, like they want to be able to have all the different versions of that there. So you because to be fair, I don't think anyone should fully identify as any one thing. But if you are going to identify, it needs to be as specific as possible because everyone, like for example, just calling me a veteran is fine, but there are people that don't like Marines. I want to be able to say Marine veteran.
Fair
So
enough.
if someone really has a thing against jarheads, they can avoid my shit because let's face it, I can be a little abrasive.
And we will put the link to the form into the description below, along with all of our
Yes.
contact information, so you can go in and put your own requests. I know, just as one example, some creative streamers that do woodworking, creative carpentry, and stuff like that, they have woodwork, but they don't have leather work as a creative tag that you can use. So they did miss a couple, and we're hoping that they react very quickly and expand. Because if you can get something like BlizzCon as a tag, you need to be able to get some more of those creative talents as tags.
Speaking of making sure everyone gets their due love, Bethesda's pulling some stuff, and I'm pulling for them. Spoilers. They're muscling in a couple different ways. They're talking about not putting Fallout 76 is not currently going to be available on Steam. It will be available through
I don't like it.
Bethesda.net. I do like it. And they're also talking pretty hardcore with Sony about crossplay and things of that nature. Basically, they're leveraging themselves against two of the big boys, saying people are asking for more open ways to play, and if you're not going to provide that, you're not going to share our revenue. So, kind of thing. I support it 100% because it takes big moves of steel. See, big moves of steel like this that will actually get the industry moving in the direction it needs to. Epic continues to fly the flag of crossplay as well.
Mhm.
So, and these two things are kind of like intertwined. But to kind of let's start with the Fallout 76 thing in Steam. What's your beef, dude?
So I read the article. I know why they're doing it. I like the concept of why they're doing it. And the reason is Bethesda said, since this is the first time we've done a game of this nature, and we're not talking about Fallout, we're talking about the online like
Right.
survival system. We would rather you come directly to us for that support instead of you having to deal with the third-party application you're using, such as Steam. Okay, fair. But you're putting all this effort into building this game. Why can't you put in the effort to work with that one third party so you can coordinate with Steam and kind of open up your support system to them in a way that they can at least help you with some of the frontline support, and then as things get necessary, just like you can do with a help desk, right? You pick up the phone at work. Hey, my computer's broken. They say, did you turn it off and back on again? You say, I hate you because I've done that all day. Let Steam
See, I
help
say
you
a
with
lot
that.
more than that when someone calls me, dude. I kind of resent that, but it fixes more than it doesn't.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
I see where you're going with this, though. I get it, but let me tell you what the underlying message here is. The game's not done. We need your feedback faster. We need to guarantee we're going to get that feedback in a form that we want so we can implement the changes to finish the game proper, get the system done on this extended beta we're going to call release. And then when we're satisfied this stable platform is working the way players want, then we'll push it to Steam.
Fair
That's
enough.
what they're saying.
Fair enough. I mean, I can see
Betcha.
that. I'm not ready to go to war or not dying on that hill, so to speak.
That's
But
good.
I am curious to know where Ghost stands on this kind of concept, though, with
Yeah,
no
bro.
Steam support.
Well, one
With
thing
the podcast divided, you're the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
No
Well,
pressure. No
yeah,
pressure.
no pressure at all. Yeah,
No.
sure. One thing I've noticed with Steam, especially with some of these other larger games from the different developers and studios, is you are being required, like with Ubisoft, to download their launcher on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
So why not make that with Bethesda? Put it on Steam. You still get your sales from it, but make it so that way it still uses its launcher to actually launch the game. Even though the person bought it through Steam, they're still getting a connection through Bethesda's launcher. It kind of solves both sides of the issue.
I go back to my technical reason for that is that they probably don't have their back end finished to a point where it can integrate with Steam properly, and they want to push this thing out and get it into people's hands so they can get community feedback to finish it. And they're not going to waste dev time on getting it to hook into Steam because I will sit here. I'm not going to die on this hill either. I will mortally injure myself on this hill that what if they were to submit this to Steam for release, Steam would say this fucking thing isn't finished. We're gonna put it in early access. And with all the bullshit early access gets, but it's like we're not going to step foot in that mud puddle. So rather than like subject themselves to the standards or non-standards of early access, they're like, well, we're just gonna release it ourselves. Release in very tentative quotes. And then when we get it to where it is finished, then it'll get released out to Steam. I think this is a very backdoor kind of way, fell off the truck kind of way of doing development, but I think it'll work.
Yeah, I kind of think that I just don't want more launchers on my. I don't want to keep installing launchers.
I agree with that. That I agree with. If the
So-
second they push this motherfucker over to Steam,
Please let me keep my content and then go into Steam.
Yeah, let me get the launcher and get rid of it. Like Ubisoft needs to like get out of here with your Uplay. EA, get out of here with your client. It's buggy and it's a resource hog and I don't like it. Blizzard isn't too bad. I don't mind it so much.
Blizzard did it right with their individual launcher,
Right.
so I can put up with it. Epic, I guess Epic kind of did something similar with
theirs is okay.
Yeah, they kind of followed Blizzard in some aspects of it, except with how fast my internet is, an Epic patch takes an epic amount of time if you get what I'm saying. Like, it's ridiculously long. Another bad pun. I apologize, guys. No, I don't. I'm not.
There's
I'm
a quota. All right.
I got one more, I think.
One.
No, I got
don't.
one more.
No. You got to save something for me. I'm older than you, dagummit. Okay? Crying out loud. And if I choose not to use my one, that's on me.
We still got to give one to Ghost, though, don't we? He gets one too, right?
Have to?
Well, he agreed with me, so I'm going to give him one.
Plus, I'm older
favoritism.
Than you,
this is awesome.
Oh,
I thought we were non-partial.
Hang on, guys. We do have a moment of history here to acknowledge. We have somebody older than Jim on the podcast.
Oh shit. That is a first, man. Hopefully last. I don't like feeling young. Nah, it's not true. Not true at all.
We might have killed Ghost with laughter. Look at him go.
I'm waiting for the vein to pop in 3, 2. There it goes. There it goes. There it goes. There's the other one.
Let's just get. Yeah, and then of course
That's a good exchange rate though. Two veins for one dad joke, so he can have a dad joke.
Yeah, we'll give him a dad joke. He's got to sneak it in the right way though.
Like that silent but deadly fart with the broccoli from earlier.
Speaking of sneaking some things in, right? We're talking about Bethesda. Well, they're doing it kind of subtle, right? We were talking about Bethesda and their strategy around Fallout 76, but Elder Scrolls Legends, the card game, it's been cross-compatible on other systems. Sony's getting the rights to produce the game, and it sounds almost like Bethesda's going, but you're gonna make it cross-compatible, right? Because you want our game on your platform, right? I'm wondering if you're willing to make it cross-compatible or lose the rights to the game. Like they're really kind of just sneaking in there with, here it is, here's the carrot.
I'm not hearing like the sneak. I'm hearing more of a, you like Bethesda games on your platform. Be a real shame.
Oh,
if
like the Mafia
style.
To gotcha.
That. Yeah, it's like, you know, that's what it feels like to me. And good for them. Go Mafia. I don't care. Like, get it done. Be the first one to get Sony to cave. Then Epic can continue to put pressure. It's like, well, you're letting Bethesda do it. And then they'll have to cave to Epic, which is a huge moneymaker. And then Bungie will come back in the side and say, hey, we don't even want crossplay. Just give us cross save, okay? We'll talk about cross play on the next one.
Yeah, I would even accept that.
Yeah, if Bungie did cross save, if a lot of these games, like Fortnite even did cross save, I'd be okay. Especially anything that's competitive, I push for cross save over cross play every day of the week. Because if I put my money in, I don't want to even, if I showed you my receipt for what I've spent on Destiny 2 alone, you'd vomit. Okay, and I have it across 3 platforms, and I paid a lot of money.
And there's no cross save, right?
Nope, no cross save. So I have to do everything, 9 times. 9 times.
So to max out all 3 of your characters on all 3 of your systems. Oh.
I'll put it this way: it's not as big as a priority as it once was because I have a life now. But at the same time, there's that part of me that goes, man, we want that stuff. And I feel like if Bethesda is able to get Sony to go to the mat with cross play on something like a card game, and then Epic can get in and get their cross play, I think things like cross save will not become a big deal. They'll be a non-issue, and people will be able to move forward. So but the thing is, here's the thing about cross save. Like, I think it's the safer move, but it's not the safer business move. And here's why. People have been saying that Sony is like, we don't want to do crossplay because of safety. Bullshit. Second thing, they're like, they don't want people to buy other consoles. It's like, well, hey, idiot. If you announce crossplay, well, here's the thing. If you don't want people to buy other consoles, let people that have your console play with other consoles. But people that have held out this long, aren't going to buy a PS4. They're just not. It's unlikely at this point because we're getting on that thing. And the fact of the matter is that they've been trying many, many, many different ways to monetize and change the landscape of gaming to get to where they can try to get away from hardware, and it's not working. So if you have the market share and you're the one that gets to say, hey, crossplay is a thing, you become the hero. And that, I think, is really what Sony's doing. They're waiting for the heat to die off. Spoilers, it won't. And then they want to announce it in a way that makes people think, big air quotes, that it was their idea. And that's what they're hoping for. Sure. And I do think there's a large section of the gaming population that would think, oh, look at Sony, they're good guy Sony or whatever. I don't care. Bad guy Sony, good guy Sony, bad guy Microsoft. None of that matters. Just give us the daggum feature.
I mean,
it's 2018. Let's go.
I think with Bethesda making a big move in the gaming industry, and they've already been big and popular, right? I mean, Elder Scrolls, Fallout, great franchises. They're doing amazing stuff. But if they can get that first domino to fall and start that effect for everybody else, then you're gonna have times where I gotta be honest. I've got a PS4 that I hardly touch. It's my Blu-ray player right now. It's a little slightly more expensive technology for a Blu-ray player, guys. I mean, but I would love to
because
just
10 years ago.
Yeah.
It's the same thing 10 years ago all over again.
I would love to get up away from my desk, go around to the couch, and sit down and fire up the game, and then jump into an online multiplayer game with Ghost, right? We've played Rust before. I think Rust, I don't remember if he's got that or not, but there's been a couple of games that we've played. I'd love to go get onto my console and relax. It may not look as good as the graphics on the PC, but it gets me away from back here in the corner of this room and out and relaxing. It would be fun to be able to jump into Destiny 2 with you with a controller while you're sitting at your desk or something like that. It just I think they're just too scared because you said it yourself. They don't want people to buy other consoles, but they're kind of making people do it anyway because I've got no choice. I had to buy Destiny 2 on the PC in order to play with anybody because I didn't have any of my friends on the PS4 playing, Well, we weren't friends then, Jim.
We're friends now, sir. Anyway, I'm not going to let this turn into Destiny, but Ghost, so that people remember that you're actually here and you're being so polite and listening.
He's being so silent.
He really is. He's being a ghost. I'm going to force you to answer this. Well, as forced as I can from across the country, but cross save, cross play, or both, and why?
Honestly, I would have to go with the cross play, mainly because, the whole thing with with Sony itself, they've had so many exclusives to themselves. They think they can keep ruling that roost. Well, time has changed. I typically buy PlayStations. I don't go with Xbox. I figure I give Microsoft enough money when I have to buy their Windows or whatever I have to do.
Mm.
I could go out and buy an Xbox, So, yeah, I would love to see it across all three platforms and not just the two right now.
Sure. So you're saying cross play, but not cross save as well?
I would actually probably say both, honestly.
Yeah.
Because to be able to save a game across all the different platforms would make it so much nicer. If I want to play the game out in my bedroom on my PlayStation and then pick it up later on my computer, why not?
Right. And when you talk about exclusive, like you look at a game like Destiny, where there are PlayStation exclusives, there are things in the API that exclude those items and maps from the other platforms. So no one can sell me any smelly pile of horse manure that says they can't exclude that in the save file. There's no such thing. There's no way. Because if you're excluding it as an available thing on the other platforms, that save file just conveniently has that cut out. I think we're not far from this becoming a reality, and the exasperation comes from just do it already. You're going to do it because otherwise you're going to be the bad guy again, and you don't want that. So just get it done. Come on.
I mean, if you think about it, like Final Fantasy, huge franchise for Sony, right? Well, Square Enix, but huge system. And we know Ghost likes playing Final Fantasy games. I've seen him play 15, if I recall correctly.
That'd be correct.
Let's say they bring it out to PC. I don't remember if it's on PC yet. I know some of the other Final Fantasy games are available, but you play it there, and then it's late. You're gonna go to bed. You want to go relax, so you save. You go to your PS4. You load the PC save, and you continue playing in bed. It's the most ideal thing. And you know what? I might actually be willing to go buy, I don't know, a PlayStation 4 if I don't already own one, to go do that in another room. Hey, look, they're buying your console now. They're not going to buy an Xbox.
And that's what's funny to me is that, like, instead of buying a $25 what is it called, a Steam TV, what the heck is that? I have one, I forget what it's called, but it's the little box that streams from your PC to your computer. I have one. They don't work that great. They really don't. Steam Link. They don't work so great. I mean, they're not bad, but there are issues with it.
Mm-hmm.
And rather than spend $50, $25 on that, I'd rather spend $300 to $400 on the console in that case. Or just because latency. Blah, blah, blah. I'm just saying this is devil's advocate. The Steam Link's fine, guys. Don't gang up. But I'm just saying that there are some people that would rather just have the console as an alternative to buying another PC, put in their living room to do this if the crossplay and cross save was something that was possible.
And
Um,
you know where that cross save, maybe cross play feature would come into a little bit of an effect here, is with a game that we know is very near and dear to Ghost, and that's Subnautica. They have announced that later this year it will be on the PS4. So the whole argument of whether or not cross save is necessary and beneficial would kind of play in here. And I know Ghost has really been kind of biding his time, waiting to jump in to talk about some of the new content, some of the new look and feel of Subnautica. So I think we can sit back, grab our popcorn, and let him go.
yes.
All right. Well, yeah, with that big announcement this year that they are going to expand to the different consoles. It's a major move for them, especially while they are in the process of working on a new standalone. Um, the cross save would be perfect because no matter where you're playing, you have to contact their server to actually get into the game. But with the new one, who's to say it's not going to be there? We don't know yet. They are talking early access later this year, probably in time for the holidays, with
Not
final
bad.
release sometime in 2019. Now, there still will be no co op, no multi, which sucks, but we're going to look at the same level of graphics that we have been throughout the first one.
So no multiplayer. I mean that this goes back to when Jim and I made so much fun of No Man's Sky. You know, like it seems
I still make fun of it. I'm sorry.
yeah, true. It seems almost like a no-brainer that a survival game like that could or should enable some sort of link to another player. I mean, I get that it's you're on this big ocean world all alone, right? Isn't that the story? You crash land someplace all alone?
Well, you crash land, there's other life pods, but the people have already been taken by the sentinels that the aliens left behind on the planet to quarantine the planet, and they've already been dealt with. You're the last survivor of the Aurora as she crashed, or so we thought.
Uh-oh. That's a tease right there.
Boom, boom,
It's going to make me buy the game to
Now,
boom.
find out.
well, here's the thing Subnautica 2, or Arctic Subnautica, whichever way you want to look at it, takes place after you've already left the planet in the Arctic region of the same planet. Now, difference is you don't get to be the male character this time. You get to be the female character.
Diversity.
Yes, and a lot of the big time players have been asking, well, why not make it so we can create our own? Well, you never see the person, so what does it matter?
It's a psychological thing, Ghost.
Yeah, I know.
Is this the current DLC that just came out, or is that about to come out? The Arctic one?
Well, it's not going to be a DLC. It's going to be a completely standalone game. Um, basically, kind of like Command and Conquer 3 when they did that one and they had Kane's Wrath to back it. It was a whole standalone.
Okay. So this
So
happens in the Arctic, you said, of the planet?
yes, in fact,
That's cool.
what's nice is in the wiki that is already being built over the new one, they give us a little spoiler. When you're leaving the planet, you see they hint at it through one of the windows on the rocket. You actually see the Arctic peninsula of the planet itself. So it's kind of pointing at, yeah, this is where you're going to next.
It's no use denying it. That's where we're going.
Yeah.
See what happens when you open this can? This
No,
is your punishment, Joe. This is your punishment, sir.
I love it.
Don't challenge
Yes,
me on
it's
that.
great. But it should be great when it comes out. Like I said, they are looking at early access later this year, which is a lot better timeline than what they gave the original Subnautica. The original was in early access for 3+ years.
Yeesh.
But the only reason why that happened is because they almost ran out of funding. They got picked up by Jacksepticeye, and I forget who else the other one was. They infused them with a bunch of money, in which case they were able to finish the game to what we have now.
Well, from what
Right on, man.
I've seen some of the game, and that you want to talk about a game that exploits a very specific fear. Um, the only other time I've encountered anything even remotely like this, and it's not even close to a real comparison, is when I was playing Ark, and you go swim out in the middle of the ocean, and you're like around all these dinosaur sharks and stuff like that, and you don't know what's around you. But being constantly underwater in this game, it would scare the hell out of me, you know. And I'm not even afraid of swimming. I grew up near the beach. Used to love going out into the open water. It would just, like, my heart would be racing the entire time playing this game. I don't know if that's kind of the reaction you had.
I've been fortunate. I think I've only been jump scared by the game once. Now, I have heard of those who will not go back to it after one jump scare. That's fine. It's not for the faint of heart at times, especially if you get spooked rather easily.
They make the best
So
clips though.
he's trying to say a portion of the gamer of the player base for this game was calling you guys out. So if you played Subnautica and you're not coming back because of a jump scare, SilentGhost73 just called you out. That just happened. All right. So let's just
Oh,
let
yeah.
that lay for a second.
And his Twitch and social media links will be
Are
available
right
in the
below.
description below. So if you want to respond to being called out, go
And
on
have a
over to his
polite,
channel.
positive conversation that in no way is endorsed by TRUgaming.
Oh, I'm not saying start a war, but
I didn't say that. I
I-
just said a polite, professional conversation.
exactly. That's all
That's
that we
exactly what
endorse
I
here.
said.
Nothing but
Besides,
happiness.
it's clear to me that Ghost loves talking Subnautica, and if you were legitimately scared off of the game and you want to hear about where the game's been since then and where it's going, that's your guy. This guy right here. Go talk to him because he's passionate about it and he knows what he's talking about. Just saying.
And you
So-
also get to watch him essentially talk to his character while he's swimming around in the game. And it's actually rather
Yes.
comical to watch him play any game. It's enjoyable to see him talk to the different characters that he interacts with throughout any game he plays. So, yeah, here's our resident TRUgaming expert on Subnautica, the one who's probably put the most hours into it out of some of the people that I directly talk with. So
there you go.
Jim,
Now, speaking of things that are filled with passion, you guys might remember the launch of the PlayStation 4, it being the first console that had streaming built into it. And people bought it with a camera, and so they had some drinks and stuff kind of happened. And by things happening, they kind of turned the PlayStation Live Hub and portions of Twitch into their own private sex gallery.
oops.
As a result, Playroom was disabled. You can never stream it to Twitch ever again unless you have a capture card. And even then, you can't. The category doesn't exist. And apparently, it's still a problem. And it's been 4 years now, and there's still like people streaming like, Playboy centerfolds, and they're just like throwing up video of porn and things like that. And it's within the Live from PlayStation app itself, and it's a problem. And I feel like people shouldn't have unfettered access to it. So I feel like if you're going to allow some people to stream whatever they want to stream through that platform, especially given that there's different cultures involved and stuff like that, there should be more stringent parental controls in the console app itself. But I saw the headline and I was like, what? How is this still a problem? I thought they dealt with this 4 years ago, but apparently not. So, keep an eye on your kids if they watch streams through PlayStation. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to scare anybody. No jump scares about people, doing the nasty on PlayStation Live. Okay, I'm not. Just keep an eye on it. I saw that and I was like, well, we're all parents. Da, 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 da. So on the other side of the spectrum, I saw this headline like, ooh, this is going to be juicy. And it turned out not to be. Netflix's chief financial officer for the last 8 years is stepping down. And that's the whole story. There's no scandal attached to it. There's no bad conduct, no bankruptcy, no illegal activity. The guy just had his fill at Netflix and is leaving. And I thought that was really cool because with all the stuff that's been happening in the last couple of years, every time you see a headline about a company, it's something like, "Whoa, they're they were touching people the wrong way, or they're spending people's money the wrong way." It's just nice to see someone who did a good job at a company and is leaving. I just thought it was cool because I'm just so sick and tired of hearing about people that take advantage of others and do jerky things and then get kicked out or whatever. So I thought it was a very positive thing that this guy just had a relatively nice, nondescript 8 years at Netflix. It's like, okay, I'm having fun. I'm gonna leave now. I thought that was nice, personally. It's not the most exciting thing to end on.
No, I mean, I read that article and I thought it was kind of really cool with some of the things I said. Now, there was a slight negative speculation that we missed. There is a guess, or someone's going, well, I wonder if it has to do with the fact that subscriber count is down, right? They didn't make last quarter's goal. I'd personally, after working in a couple of different corporate offices, knowing the CFO pretty well, unless they like significantly dropped the goal to where like they're hurting significantly on revenue because of it, I can't see a near miss really being like, dude, get out of here. Like, we don't need you.
Maybe it's not that. Maybe it's a different side of it. Maybe it's more of a, they're like, hey man, can you see a way to get this back on track? And he's like, dude, we've been doing it for 8 years and we've been doing a great job. I don't know another way to push the same thing. And him saying, I'm out of ideas. I'm going to step back and you find someone who has new ideas.
Right.
Maybe that's what it is.
It is cool that he plans on focusing. I'm looking back at the article right now. He wants to focus on philanthropy. Ugh,
yeah.
Mouthful.
You can't do that when you're working for a multi-billion-dollar company that streams movies about cutting people up. Just saying. I mean, that's one idea.
Right.
But speaking of ideas, if you have a podcast topic you want to discuss on the show, email it to us at TRUtalk@TRUtalkgaming.com or go to our website, TRUgaming.com, and social media links to contact us.
Remember to subscribe to our channels via YouTube, Twitch, iTunes, Spreaker, SoundCloud, and now Spotify.
I always stick him with that because I hate the way that's phrased.
Yep.
We'll be back in a week to talk more True Talk with special guest. It's not there.
Susie QQ, I believe.
Oh, that's Susie QQ. Okay. Make sure you guys check out the Discord at discord.gg/TRUgaming and tell all your friends, unless you're like me, don't have any, about the podcast. This was a great show. I really want to thank Silent Ghost for being here and putting up with us going blah, 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 about stuff. It was really a lot of fun, and I appreciate the insight into Subnautica.
Shit it.
Okay, that's cool. It's the end of the podcast. It's easy to do that.
All right.
Take us home, Joe.
Yep. Say goodnight, Jim.
Good night, Jim.
Say goodnight, Ghost.
Good night, Ghost.
I don't know why I like doing that at the end of every cast, but it's my shtick.
I'll let you have it this time because I really want a beer.
All right. Well, go get your beer. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to True Talk. We're out of here. We'll be back next week. Thanks a lot.
Howdy.
See ya. Da ba da, da ba dee da dee.